You can just forget everything I just said for the last 10 minutes.
Oh, were you talking?
Apparently, she didn't not only forget, she didn't even comprehend. Nor did she try.
I didn't listen.
You didn't listen. Linda,
Linda, listen. Linda.
Listen, Linda.
That little kid with the cookie.
Oh, he was funny. That was one of the best videos ever.
If we do navigate to Buc-ee's, it's still going to tell us.
Drive south on Interstate 95 south for 5.4 miles.
It's still telling us go to Lumberton. So we could remove all charging stops.
Drive south on Interstate 95.
And it's telling us we're going to arrive at 0%.
That's a little tight, Dave.
Yeah, but I don't believe that.
I believe that.
I don't believe that.
I don't really understand the harm in just going to Lumberton for 5 minutes. And then I have no anxiety for the next 45 minutes.
Because
it says 0.
Okay, but I don't believe that.
I feel like we just had this conversation.
Right. So we're past that. We're going to Buc-ee's. Okay? We're going to Buc-ee's. Even if we have to slow down a little bit, we're going to Buc-ee's. Plus, this is out of spec. Welcome to day 2 of our trip. We're little Miss Bailey last night here at the Holiday Inn Express. Man, oh man, she was in protection mode. Every little sound, and not for me, not from you, like anything. You know what it was?
People in the hallway.
The elevator shaft was right across the hall from our, and every time that thing would go up and down, Bailey was there to protect us. But that's okay, because
we're still alive.
We're still alive. Anyway, day 2, we've got 885 miles to go today. It's 6:30 a.m. I say we go in and get a little breakfast, a little coffee, because this place includes the breakfast here. And look.
And you do love breakfast.
I love lunch.
He loves to eat.
I love snacks. Anyway, let's get into day 2 of our trip to Florida. Okay, so we're in the Model 3, day 2, and we stayed here at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Roanoke Rapids, and we have currently a 27% state of charge. There was no charging here last night, showing 80 miles of range. And what's amazing is right down the road, 5.3 miles away, is a station here in Halifax with 60 V3s. One of them, it's showing 325 kW max, which is something that the Cybertruck can take advantage of, because the way the system works, it pulls more than 2, if you will, dispensers, and it actually puts out more power. So really interesting. This car will only max at 250, but let's go ahead and take a look at the trip so far, just so we can kind of see the efficiency, or should I say lack of efficiency. Actually not terrible. A couple things to keep in mind on this vehicle is that we're running the 20-inch wheels with the summer tires. It was sort of to the positive, not super high speeds yesterday, but it was raining almost the entire time. Plus, we have the roof box on the top. So in a Model 3 rear-wheel drive long range, you'll get maybe 240, 250 watt hours per mile. And you'll see in a performance Model 3, it's not uncommon to get just under 300 if you're not super hard on it, maybe 310. So we've actually just had a little bit less efficiency, burning 337.4 watt hours per mile. And so that's it. So we're basically 500 miles into the trip. We've got 800 and so odd miles left to go. Let's just see what it says here. All right, we are preconditioning. Now let's just say Marco Island and see what it tells us the number of miles to get down to Marco will be. So this FSD's been terrific, even in the bad weather last night or all day yesterday. We're currently driving in standard mode. Now, one of the things that I want to thank you, Kathy, was for pointing out how last night the hurry mode was just a little too aggressive. We kept feeling very anxious.
Right.
You would pull up and it would get right on that truck, and then it would whip around it, or it would sort of hammer people in the left-hand lane, and
Or make some quick lane changes.
Make some-
Quick exit 168 on the
right, make some quick lane changes. See, we're almost here at Halifax. Look, an I-3 going down the road. Beautiful. And then the chill mode was just a little too chill. It would jump in the right-hand lane and just kind of hunker down there. So standard mode, it feels like it's got the right rhythm and the right sort of, you know, in roads like this, I might put it on hurry, but in heavy traffic, I would say that would be a smarter move to use standard.
And standard felt comfortable for being night, being bad weather conditions. It really helped us once we remembered that we had several modes.
Yes,
It was
right.
the right mode. It was more how we would be driving.
Now take exit 168 on the right.
All right, here we go. Exit 168 on the right. I'll let the GoPros take over here.
500 feet. Turn right onto North Carolina Highway. Then turn right.
Oh, I remember this place.
Now turn right onto North
Oh, yeah.
Carolina Highway 903.
They just added more chargers.
Oh, we used to stop there.
Yeah.
And remember they said they were getting a whole
Yeah.
bunch.
Okay, so this will be a good little extra video
Okay.
that'll do.
Is it going to stop?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen one of those in a long time. They don't make them anymore?
No, I really like those cars.
You had two of them.
Yeah, they're great.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. We just went.
Now turn right.
Now let's see this oncoming car. It does.
In 500 feet, you will arrive at your destination.
Does it know where it wants to take us?
Now you have arrived at your destination.
Wow, which one should we choose? Let's go to the new one.
Yeah, let's go to the new ones over there for sure. All right. 60 stations, 48 brand new V4 dispensers, 400 volt system. But look at this install. You got a solar canopy. There's 48 brand new stations. There's 12 over there at the Oasis, which is Dunkin' Donuts. It's right off of 95 over here. Perfect location, just over the border from Virginia. They got a couple of these side mounted units over here. They got one over there, so you've got a super long trailer. But look at this install. This is the way to do it, folks. So happy Saturday. Guess what? Charging Tesla style here in North Carolina. Look at this. This is the way it should be, folks. I'm loving it. Loving it. So you can see all the V4 dispensers over there that you back into. And then over here, you've got one of these side mounters, which is interesting. And I guess you could maybe pull up through there with a trailer. But look at this one over here, all by its lonesome self. This right here is perfect if you've got a long trailer. You wouldn't have to disconnect. But what's interesting to me is I would have thought they would have had more of these. But here's the thing. This land that's right over here, my understanding is that they're putting another 60, I think, another 48. I think that's what it's going to be. I have to go in and ask. The last time I was in here, the woman behind the counter, she knew everything about it. She was like, "Oh yeah, we're going to have a total of 60, and then we're going to 120." And she actually walked me out and showed me where they were going to put it. I thought this was the area that they were going to put the initial install, but no, they came over here and did it. And boy, did they do a nice install here. This is really perfect. So you see, you've got these garbage pails with paper towels inside of them, and you've got the brand new windshield washer I don't know if Kyle would know what to do with that thing if he saw it. And garbage pails. Interesting, it says no trucks, no outlet. I guess they don't want 18-wheelers pulling in there, because there are, back in here, there's a lot of 18-wheelers that looks like storage or maybe overnight parking, or I'm not sure what's going on over there. But yeah, this is good. It's just amazing to me. You got all this Tesla infrastructure, and then you got one lonely charge point. And there were two. As a matter of fact, the one over here to the right, you can see it to the right of the blue garbage pail. It's gone now. But that wasn't a charge point, I don't believe. I can't remember what brand it was, but that was free. And then the charge point you had to pay for. So that was pretty cool. But what an install here. Tesla, hats off to you. Halifax, North Carolina. I love it. Kathy, what do you think of this install here?
I love this. I do remember we've been here in the past, and they told us this was going to go in, and we've never seen it. So thank you, Tesla. This is great.
Amazing, yeah. And by the way, all those, you could have, you could use the Magic Dock there with the V4s.
Well, that's what I'm looking at when we drive down in June. We'll have the Macan, and I will certainly take advantage of this.
Absolutely. So I guess this is the site of what's going to be the Godfather's Pizza going in here. This is inside the Oasis here. You got all kinds of cute little animals and lots of good stuff, coffee, nice clean restrooms, and soon to be a Godfather's Pizza right next to Dunkin' Donuts. All right, so like I mentioned, every one of these V4s has a Magic Dock CCS in there, and you can see this beautiful R1S over here is plugged in to the Magic Dock. He's got himself a Thule box on there. 2 dogs, 2 boys, and they're heading probably south, I think, is where he said. But anyway, beautiful, beautiful station. It's time for us to unplug and head to Buc-ee's. All right, so Kathy, we are 196 miles away from Buc-ee's in Florence, South Carolina.
Excellent.
And we've got enough juice. We actually charged a little too much.
Somebody might have bought a little snack before we get to Buc-ee's.
Oh yeah, mild Slim Jim.
What is a road trip without you having some beef jerky?
Yeah, that's not beef jerky, that's Slim Jim.
It's beef jerky.
Slim Jim.
It's all beef jerky.
You are what you eat. All right, so we've got 280 miles. We charged up to 92%. We're going to Buc-ee's, which says it's 184 miles away, but you know what? No rain, and I think we're going to be carrying some speed here now with the daylight and no rain. So who knows what the efficiency is going to be. So I don't really mind that we charged up to 92%, and I think our next stop is going to be Buc-ee's. So let's go. Bailey? Hey, Bailey? Bailey? Bailey?
Don't wake a sleeping dog.
Oh, there she is. I don't know what the heck she was doing there. All right, Kathy, that was some stop supercharger.
That was great.
And yeah, pretty psyched. I got my Slim Jim, which is good. I actually started to open it, and I said, "Wait, I just had breakfast." So I don't know. Sort of when you're on a road trip, food just gets all messed up. Unless you got to really focus on not letting it get messed up.
I'm focused on it. I have walked by about 200 packs of M&Ms, and I haven't bought one. And that is my road trip food of choice.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so here's the situation. We've got a state of charge now. We're on the road, 89% state of charge. We're headed to Buc-ee's in Florence, South Carolina, and we're which is 192 miles away. So we've got 75, 77 miles of buffer. But what's interesting is when we put in Buc-ee's as a destination to the Tesla, to Keeper said, you got to stop in Lumberton.
Right.
And so now, I don't know if it's taking into account the efficiency or inefficiency, I should say,
Because of the roof box?
because of the roof box, because we're burning basically, well, let's just see, since we've been since in 8 miles, we're at 421 watt hours per mile, because we're now carrying some speed. So I'm really not sure what's going on with that. But so far, with 510 miles, we're at 350, basically 347 miles or watt hours per mile. So we're just going to watch the gap. I think that.
I mean, if it looks like we were able to override it last night in a similar situation, we'll see what's happening when we get there.
When we get closer, yeah.
We'll make an informed decision, Dave.
Yeah, or we may just slow it down with speed, or maybe we'll stop in Lumberton.
I mean, 5 minutes to charge is not the end of the world.
Yeah. The thing is, they're just chargers everywhere down here.
Well, that's a great thing.
Now,
don't sound upset about it.
No, I'm not. It's amazing. Although, you know, the other thing to think about here is everybody's heading on vacation now. I mean,
everybody.
Here it is at 8 o'clock in the morning, 95, Saturday morning, and there are way more cars headed south than north right now.
Smart people.
And yeah, so people are heading on vacation.
Well, we're all on the school vacation, including myself.
Yeah,
so
I think that
that's
a
what we
lot
have
of the
to deal
Connecticut
with.
schools are off this coming week, and then I think New Jersey schools are off the week after Easter.
Yeah, the Easter.
So they kind of stagger
But they
it a little
probably
bit.
had a week-long February break, which we don't get, so they're able to push it off a week.
Yeah.
We,
All right.
including the faculty and the students, we were dying on the vine. It's been our last real vacation was Christmas, so
Yeah.
that's a long time, and everybody just needs a little time off.
So what are your thoughts for the day, Kathy?
Well, first thing is I have to go say hello to Bucky.
Yeah.
After that, I'm all yours. Wherever the wind takes us, as long as we get to the condo tonight.
Yeah, I think we're probably going to get there by, realistically, 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope it's not later than that.
I don't think it
Last night
will
was
be.
late, and let's be honest, we did not sleep because of
Bailey. Yeah,
she was wound tight last
I
night.
actually slept. We had a little.
You always sleep.
We had a little tussle,
always
she and I. But yeah, I had to set her
Well, I
straight.
think part of it too, we didn't bring her little carry case where she feels a little more
No,
nestled.
I got it up in the roof box.
Oh, you just didn't pull it out?
No.
That was not a good move, Dave. That was not good.
Not good.
Not good.
Yeah. Well,
All right, well, now I know we have it. It'll be used on the way
I
back.
actually have two of
Or
them.
maybe I'll
Two
fly
of them
home.
up there.
Maybe I'll fly home then
No.
on Sunday.
No. You're not flying home.
No?
Yeah, I need you for the road trip.
I know, he uses
Nice-
me. Film this.
Nice
Film
XC90 there. Look at that thing. Anyway, so yeah, I have a feeling we're probably going to hit some traffic today.
Whatever it is, you're not even driving. You have your coffee in your hand, your other hand's free. Look at you.
As long as I keep my eyes on the road. So now Buc-ee's has, I think, 20 V3s, but they're not Magic Docks. So you couldn't.
I couldn't take them economy.
No, you know what you should do while you have a little bit of time? You should map out the CCS network, including Magic Docks, because I don't think you can count on Porsche coming out with the adapter.
Porsche, come on.
So
Waiting.
because that car's coming down in June, the end of June.
That was the carrot you dangled in front of my nose for me to say, oh, okay, I'll go for Porsche and I'll sell my Model Y. I
Yeah.
said, oh, as long as I can charge.
I'll tell you what,
on the supercharger
if Porsche
network.
doesn't come out with the adapter
What are you going to do?
by, let's say, September 15th, then I think,
It's a random number. Why don't we say September 14th, which is Katie's birthday?
okay, by September 14th, if Porsche doesn't come out with the adapter by September 14th, then I think we should get out of the lease and buy a Lucid Gravity.
No,
Yes.
no.
Oh, man. Now, wait, I got so much to think about.
I still have to.
Porsche,
look
take
at
your
it. I haven't
time.
seen it.
Take your time
Not
with the
happening.
adapter. Take your time.
Not happening.
Rumor has it Lucid wants to pull me out of your Macan lease.
Not happening.
You haven't seen it yet.
Still not happening.
You don't know how fast that thing charges with native NACs.
My everyday drive is perfectly fine. It's
right.
just a road trip. And
Maybe
we
I
have
need-
this gorgeous Tesla to take.
Maybe
us on
I
a
need
road trip.
to.
Although, can I start complaining? It's day 2. I didn't say anything yesterday.
About what?
I have no massaging seats. It's hard on
Yeah.
a road trip.
Yeah.
I've gotten so used to it, and my back feels better when I have it. So
Yeah.
that's how I shall start my Saturday morning. Just saying it once, I
Yeah.
won't say it again.
You know, as much as I want and love that Lucid Gravity, I love this Model 3.
No, this is a great car. And by the way,
What?
his name is Keeper.
I know. I get
Keeper.
that.
This is the one.
I know. This is the one.
I love this car.
And the FSD is amazing. It really
Oh,
is.
it's unreal. I'm really.
I
I really have seen all the iterations, and this is like almost perfect. This is pretty darn good.
The thing is, though, the Lucid Gravity with the ADAS that's in it and the Dream Drive, it's okay. I mean, it's not like this, right? But for highway driving, it's probably good enough for me to say I could get rid of FSD, although I love it.
Oh, you love your FSD.
I do.
I just sort of feel strongly that we should always have a Tesla. So easy. There's nothing to think about.
And you know,
And then something else. And right now, for the next 3 years, the something else is the Macan,
yeah,
which I really, really
maybe
do
we need a
love.
third car.
No,
That
we
could
don't
be
need a third car.
third car.
No, you have an electric bicycle. Go have fun with that.
Okay, so just a quick update. We are, let's see, how far into the trip are we? We're 600 miles into the trip. We've gone 100 miles since our last charging at Halifax, and we've been averaging 363.2 watt hours per mile. Now, here's the thing. Our next stop, I want it to be Buc-ee's, and Buc-ee's is actually 87 miles away. And it's telling me, the navigation of Tesla is telling me that I need to stop in Lumberton. But I've got 130 miles of range. Now, granted, I've definitely been coming down in the pack, and we're eating the buffer. But this software is just too conservative. So my advice to you is use your head. Don't just pay attention to what the Tesla navigation system and route planner is telling you to do, because you could do better. So those are my thoughts. Kath?
Well, I'd like to make a decision when we get a little closer, because we are traveling at much higher speeds today. And I think it's windier
Well, yeah,
out, so I
agree.
don't think we make a decision yet. We have time to make a decision.
I agree with you. So we are 40.
I don't think we have as much as a buffer as we initially thought that we did.
Well, the buffer is getting eaten up because of the inefficiency, right? It is windy out. We do have the roof box, and we are carrying speeds. So those three factors are definitely eating into our buffer. However, we still have, let's just see, we're about 130. We got about a 42 mile buffer, and we only have 85 miles to go.
That's why we have some time to make a decision.
So what we'll do is, we are 47 miles away from Lumberton. We will check in next as we get closer to Lumberton. Here we are. We're in the south now. There's the Confederate flag. You see it right over there?
There it is.
There it is, the Confederate flag. And
Truly the South.
yeah, we're in the south here. We're in the north part of the south. No, I mean, technically, we've been in the south for a long time, but now, when you see the Confederate flag, it's official. So when we get closer to Lumberton, we will definitely make a determination. And then, even then, I think we're going to push it, and we'll just control it with speed and feather it in.
Okay, well, we'll decide.
All right. Anything else on your mind?
Well, no, I was trying to take a nap.
So Bailey, who didn't sleep a wink last night, has been out the whole time.
It's good
And
that
then,
somebody in the car is taking.
and then I opened up the Slim Jim, and She woke right up. It's amazing the power of the dog's nose.
Not only that, she hears things. Like she knows
Yeah.
a crinkling sound means there might be something good in it for her.
Yeah, and I did give her a little taste, just a little taste. And for all those people who say Slim Jims are not good for you, here's what I'll say. You're right. Okay, so as promised, we're actually 10 miles away from Lumberton, and we need to make a decision here as far as what we're going to do. So let's think about this. We are 54 miles away from Buc-ee's, and according to our how many mileage the estimator from Tesla is, we're currently at a 25% state of charge, and it's saying 74 miles range. So basically we have a 20-mile buffer. Now that buffer is getting smaller and smaller and smaller, right?
Yes.
So the Tesla is definitely saying we need to pull into Lumberton, and it's saying we only need a splash and dash.
Like 5 minutes.
5 minutes. And I'm saying that's a waste of time, okay? Because in a Tesla, you want to pull in at as low a state of state of charge as possible, so that you can take the maximum. Because these things peak out quickly and they taper very quickly. It wasn't the case in our Model X. In our Model X, if you pulled in less than 10%, that thing would ramp up. It wouldn't take the maximum juice quickly. It would like at 7%, it would be slow, and then it would ramp up to 250.
Porsche Macan, is that one electric?
No, it's not. So anyway, what I'm suggesting is we go for it, okay?
I know, you always suggest that.
And we're going to pull in probably, I think, realistically with a 3% state of charge. That's my guess.
Yeah, and I imagine we're going to have to reduce our speed as well.
Nice Porsches on that trailer over there. Beautiful. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about efficiency, because there's two different languages that are spoken often when it comes to electric vehicles. Some people will say, how many miles can you go per kilowatt hour, right? So the amount of energy that's in a battery pack is measured in kilowatt hours. This battery pack is, let's just say, 77 kilowatt hours. So recently, Jordan, in his Model 3 long range, not the long range rear wheel drive that he has, he was able to go pretty much around 4 miles per kilowatt hour at speed, on a highway trip. Can you grab your calculator for a second?
What happened?
Okay, because if you think about, if there's 77 kilowatt hours in the battery pack, and you can go 4 miles for every kilowatt hour, what's 4 times 77?
308.
Okay, 308 miles. So even though that car has EPA projected range, a Model 3 rear wheel drive with the small wheels, of 363 miles, at speed on a highway, you're really only going to get, assuming you use the entire battery pack, right?
Can I just ask a question? Since it is preconditioning for our stop at Lumberton, and you've decided not to do it, should we not precondition?
It's okay to let it. Tesla will get it at that pack once we blow
is that
past.
going to use more energy?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I like that. I think that's smart. I'm not worried about the energy, but let's just see, if we do navigate to Buc-ee's, it's still going to tell
Drive
us.
south on Interstate 95 south for 5.4 miles.
It's still telling us go to Lumberton. So we could remove all charging stops
Drive south on Interstate 95.
And it's telling us we're going to arrive at 0%.
That's a little tight, Dave.
Yeah, but I don't believe that.
I believe that.
I don't believe that.
I don't really understand the harm in just going to Lumberton for 5 minutes, and then I have no anxiety for the next 45 minutes.
Because...
It says 0.
Okay, but I don't believe that.
I feel like we just had this conversation.
Right. So we're past that. We're going to Buc-ee's, okay? We're going to Buc-ee's. Even if we have to slow down a little bit, we're going to Buc-ee's. Plus, you know, this is out of spec, right? Get off in Lumberton? No. Okay. So, you with me so far?
I don't have a choice. Here I am in the passenger seat. I have no choice. I am with you.
Let's get back to the math, okay?
Oh, should I have my calculator?
Yeah, I'm going to need your calculator. So, but what's interesting about this car, like that makes sense to me. If you're able to go 4 miles for every kilowatt hour, that's really quite efficient.
Recharge your EV south of the border. Hope we make it to Buc-ee's.
You want to go to south of the border?
No.
Wait, so you're saying you'd rather run out of juice than go to south of the border?
No, I'd rather go to Lumberton.
We're not
I don't
doing
want to
that.
go
No.
south of the border.
I don't even like saying the word Lumberton. I don't know why. I don't want to go there. Okay? All right. So in this car, when you go to trips, it tells us that we are consuming energy from a state of efficiency of 354 watt hours per mile. But yet, oftentimes you hear people, they state the efficiency of a car. Like a lot of people say that a Lucid Air is, you know, the most efficient car, and you can actually get 5 miles for every kilowatt hour on that car. Maybe even a little more if you're careful, which is an amazingly efficient car. And then combine that with the fact that it's got a mega battery pack of, let's say, 114 kilowatt hours. You can go really far on one charge, right? If you do the math. So the question is, when someone's talking how many miles per kilowatt hour, but yet our Tesla tells you average energy consumption is in watt hours per mile, how do you convert? How do you make sense of the two? And here's how you do it. You take 1,000 and you divide it by 353. And that will tell us the consumption that we are getting on the last leg of our trip, last 149 miles since we charged in Halifax 2 hours ago. And we can figure out what our efficiency is. So can you do me one other additional calculation, please?
My pleasure.
1,000 divided by 353 equals
2.8.
2.8. Okay, so the way that this car is set up, with the wheels being 20-inch wheels, the tires being staggered, 285s in the rear, 235s in the front, having the roof box a little bit windy and carrying speed, we are now operating at 2.8 miles for every kilowatt hour. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay, so then the question becomes, how far could we go under those conditions at 2.8 miles per kilowatt hour with the size of battery pack we have? So what you need to know is you need to know the size of the battery pack. And I think the battery pack in this car, this is the Panasonic, is around 77, let's just call it 77 kilowatt hours. It might be a little bit higher. I think some people say it's 81, 82, but let's be conservative and say, let's say 78. Okay?
Okay.
You talk with your hands, you know. All right, so nice crane, by the way. So what is 2.8 times 78? Be a little bit
2.8
less
times
conservative.
78 equals 218.
218. So that is assuming we were to use the entire battery pack with the efficiency that we've got with this car. We're only able to go 218 miles between charging stations, and that's assuming you're using the entire battery pack, right? So all this talk about what does the system do and what does it say and all of that, this is the math that you as a consumer, you as an EV driver, can do on your own, as long as you're getting the data for the consumption in in watt hours per mile. And a lot of cars, they don't necessarily give you that amount of data, and you have to take into consideration wind. You got to take into consideration temperature. You got to take in your point about charging up the battery pack preconditioning, right? The car may actually sit there. If you get to be a very low state of charge upon arrival, it may actually turn off preconditioning if it's smart enough,
Right.
depending on the brand of the car. And why would it do that? In order to conserve energy so you don't run
make it
out.
to the station.
Exactly.
What about elevation, right? If you're going up hills, that's
100
going to use more.
High five, girl. So if you know that you're at the top of Eisenhower Pass and you're heading down into, let's say, into towards Vail, what are you going to do there? You're going to be, okay, I'm going downhill, so I can maybe say, instead of getting 2.8 miles per kilowatt hour, I think I can get 3.2 or 3.4 because I'm going downhill. And the other thing you can do is you can control the consumption with speed. That's what we call feathering it in. So hopefully this gives you a little bit of sort of the mentality to be able to make the right decisions. Now, the thing that you have to rely on here is every car has something called a BMS, a battery management system. And what the battery management system is doing is a lot of things, but basically just for let's just say the average knowledge that I have is it's estimating how much energy is in the battery pack at all times. And it's displaying it here on the screen. And it's saying, okay, we got 21% of the battery pack left. And therefore, it's saying 62 miles. Now, there's a difference between a guessometer and a rated range. So a guessometer is actually trying to take into account the last 30 miles or the last 100 miles of operating speed, whereas a rated range system, which is what this Tesla is it says, okay, the EPA rated range of this car is, let's say, 289 miles with the 20-inch wheels under ideal conditions. Therefore, if I'm at 20% state of charge, I'm going to display simply 0.2 times 289. Whereas a smarter system might say, okay, I think based on how you're driving and based on how much energy I have in the pack, I think here's how far you can go. So you have to take that into account as well. It's not that I don't believe that. It's just that I'm going to override it. So now it's telling me stay below 70 miles an hour in order to reach Buc-ee's. Okay.
Oh, so even if we have to go 50, then it's not so
right.
bad.
That's what feathering it in is.
No, I understand that.
Okay.
But sometimes I've seen Kyle feathered and he's going about 2 miles an hour,
Yeah,
creeping down a road, and there's a bunch of cars behind him.
We've been known to
That's
get
extremism.
We've been known to get a little aggressive.
Okay, so now it's showing we'll arrive with 2% at Buc-ee's if you keep it under 70 miles.
No, the
an
70 mile an hour thing went away now. So we're playing on that, like we're popping off what I call the floor, right? There's a floor where you go, okay, now I'm going down into the basement, which is not good. You're going into the buffer. These cars also have a little bit of a buffer. Do you know can you explain what you think the buffer is?
Yeah, I know that if it says 0%, we actually have some buffer that they don't make public, so that maybe sometimes you go another 2% or 3%.
That's
One
right.
of your cars had quite a lot.
Yeah, the Hyundai Ioniq
in
5,
there. And what I like
I think 4 or
the
5%
hidden
buffer.
tank, right? That extra tank.
That's right. That's right. And all of this is predicated on the fact that the battery management system is being accurate. And what's really important is to calibrate that BMS every once in a while. And one way to do that is to charge your car all the way to 100% once in a while. And just let it top off so that it knows where all the energy is and all the different cell packs. And I've never done that with this car, but this is a fresh pack. I mean, we only have 3,900 miles on this car. So, a lot of this is how much is the degradation of the battery pack. And you know that Kyle just did a test of the degradation of his Cybertruck after 26,000 miles in a year. how much do you think the battery pack lost from when it was new to where it is right now in terms of capacity?
It was more than he anticipated.
Oh, he told you?
No, I follow him on Twitter.
Oh, you follow him on Twitter?
It's
Okay.
the only way I know where my son is. I have no idea.
I didn't even see that tweet. He called me the other day with this. He's like, "All right, how much do you think I lost?"
So how much was it?
I guessed 7%. So in other words, the battery pack would be at 93%. It's sort of, you lose a lot initially, and then it kind of slowly goes down over time. So my guess was 7%. And he was surprised. He thought it was going to be closer to 10%. And the answer was 5%. That only lost 5% after 25,000 miles. And yeah. So, but you know, a lot of it depends. Are they 4680 cells? Are they 2180? You know, there's a lot of different chemistries that go into these calculations. But 5% is all he lost. All right. So just to summarize, we are 37 miles away from Buc-ee's, and the BMS is telling us we've got 55 miles of range. These are the two numbers this is my technique. 37 to go, 55 in the tank. Play with that. Bring that down. If you really want to get aggressive, bring that number down to under 10. So the gap is under 10. If the goal is to arrive at 1% or 0%, and still maintain speed. What you don't want to do is like go 40 miles an hour on the road. So the perfect road trip is when you can maintain your speed doing 70, 75, 80 and pull in at 1%.
Or whatever the speed limit is.
Correct. Absolutely. Or yeah. So any questions?
No, you've explained it all thoroughly.
I have?
And in detail.
Okay.
Yes.
And are you on board? How do you feel about this decision that we made to
Well,
blow
now I
past?
feel fine. See, all I needed to see was this calculation. If we didn't do Lumberton, it now is not at 0, it's at 2%. I'm totally fine with that. That is just fine.
All right, we were in chill there for a little while we were filming. Back to hurry.
Well, then we're going
to pop off the floor.
We're going to be back down to 0 with hurry mode.
Well, we're going to pop it off the floor now.
Pop it off the floor.
Pop it off the floor.
Better put on some disco music.
That's right. Fly, Robin, fly. All right, here we are at Buc-ee's, and awesome. We've got 16 stations here, and it's time to plug in. Here we go. All right. V3, no magic dock here. If you're a CCS car, you got to go over to the Mercedes chargers. We're going to plug in. Let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bang, 6 seconds. Always 6 seconds. Toolie box looking sweet. All right. I say, let's go in and get some snacks. Use the men's room, ladies' room, whatever. Here we go. Bailey wants to come into Buc-ee's with us, but she's going to stay out here on dog mode. You can kind of see, there you go. My driver will be back soon, 67 degrees in the car, and off we go to Buc-ee's. Let's do it. Buc-ee's is hopping today, Kathy.
I know.
I mean, just incredible.
It's great.
A lot of people here. So 16 V3s, non-magic docks. You know what we should do? We should walk over to I want to show you the Mercedes chargers. We'll check those out. So yeah, when you're driving down here, when you're driving in your Macan,
That's a good idea.
and you can actually see how they are. They're really nice units, really beautiful. Buc-ee's. All right, so here I am in Buc-ee's, and man, oh man, is it busy in here. The ladies' room line is going way out the door. There was actually a line in the men's room, and this place is hopping. This is holiday weekend traffic, 95, south in Florence, South Carolina. So the thing is, even though it's crazy busy here, there were only 9 of 16 chargers being used. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of throughput and there's a lot of back and forth, but I was able to pull up, plug right in, and it's all good. So, yeah, Bucky is, he's pushing out the product today for sure. And I'm in my happy spot. I love it here. Ghost pepper, hot and spicy,
Definitely not.
peppered turkey, Korean barbecue.
I think that's the one.
That's the one. Bohemian garlic, lemon pepper, cherry maple. I had cherry maple once before. I didn't love it.
Oh, really?
Teriyaki, Korean barbecue. Those are seemingly all. Oh, they look more over here. Mesquite,
Oh, yes.
peppered
I
steakhouse.
have to go all the way down. There's a bunch of people over there.
Hi.
It is busy today.
Yeah. All right, Kathy, we need a plan because Bucky's is crazy today.
Crazy.
I see you picked up something already, though. All right, that's good. You got a Bucky's
I
mug.
got a Bucky's mug.
All right, that's good. I'm going to get beef brisket. I'm going to get beef jerky. And I'm going to get banana pudding, small.
Yeah. And I'll find
And-
something small to eat.
All right, let's.
Yeah, but it is really busy in here, but organized. It's amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Not to overshare, but there was a long line at the ladies' room. And for you who know how amazing the ladies' room is, there was a woman in there directing traffic. It was
Was it
great.
clean in there?
Totally clean.
There you go. I don't know, Bucky's.
They
You
do
gotta
it
love
right.
it. You gotta love it. Kathy, what are you going to get for lunch?
Well, I'm deciding, but so far there's crispy chicken bacon avocado wrap.
Okay. There she is.
I'm looking all the way over there. I said, where did you go?
Oh, I was talking to the guy in the Rivian. We saw him in Halifax.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, found
So
you.
he's got obviously the adapter because these are not magic docks here.
Right.
So, but all good. All right, you want to put her on the hook?
Yes, I do.
All right. She's going crazy. Where is she? There she is. Bailey, Boo Bear, Connor.
She's got a lot of things to sniff.
She's got a lot going on. Make sure your dog doesn't leave anything behind. Catch our drift. All right, so Kath, let's walk all the way over to, I want to show you those Mercedes stations.
Okay.
And then we'll walk back. And when we get back, we should probably be at 100%, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah, I think on this trip it's
Yeah, you know what? We'll do it. Bailey's making a friend. Kind of, sort of. All right, so Kathy, here are the Mercedes chargers. And
Yeah, let's check them out.
yeah. Except that over there doesn't look like
That's not
an electric vehicle.
Oh, these are pretty.
Yeah, these are charge point.
Okay, so these can
I think these are your CP250s.
service my car.
But look at how the cables work right up here. So, you know,
Oh, I see.
they kind of swing and you got real long cables there, which is
Well,
good.
that's good.
And yeah, so anyway, this is where you'd be able to charge even if you don't, since the other is not a magic dock,
Right. So
right?
I could just come over here.
Just come over here and you charge.
Well, that's great to know.
So you would actually, you could use your plug and charge, although
Or I
that's
could
for
just tap a
Mercedes.
credit card.
You could tap a credit card
Okay, and then
or if you download the app, we'll get you all set up with all the apps
these are very
ahead
pretty.
of time.
This is charge point.
Yep. All right, so over here at Bucky's, we've got a total of 10
Come on, baby.
charging stations here. All these are branded as Mercedes, but you can plug in any CCS car that you want, or if you've got a Tesla and for whatever reason you want to come over here and charge using the adapter, this Combo 1 adapter, you can do it. So there's a total of 10 because over there's one that is actually being iced right now by a Lexus and a motorhome, which is interesting. I guess people just don't understand, but no one's here and it's super busy. So on this Saturday kind of holiday weekend, 11 o'clock in the morning, no issues with getting CCS charging here. And these are great units. So Bucky's, thank you for, and Mercedes also, thank you for putting these in.
Good girl, Bailey. Is that it? One more? Okay, you did good. And then it goes down. It gets sucked back down.
Yeah, that's awesome water
That's
bottle.
great. And then,
Nice.
then all I do is tighten it up.
All right. Good job. Bailey,
Bailey, good. Back in your house.
let's get her back in
She
there.
left 11 love notes. 11.
11?
11.
That's a lot of music.
She's like a big flirt, this one. Come here.
A big flirt.
She's a flirty girl.
All right, Bailey, you ready
She's
for
happy.
a little more road tripping? All right, let's do it, girl.
On the way back, we'll find out if any of the boys left you a love note.
Getting out of Buc-ee's is an event all by itself, and I don't know. I think I just got some dirty looks because I think I was in the wrong lane. But what a great, crazy day it is here at Buc-ee's. It's 12:05 p.m. We did fill up to 100%, which is showing 302 miles of range. Now, I think I mistakenly said the range on this vehicle, EPA rated range, is 289. It's actually 298. So that bodes well, although it's not really, you can't really go by this, too well. But we deliberately went up to 100% because we took Bailey on a great walk, and we did have a little lunch, a little chow, which is great. So now the question is, where do we go? I was hoping we could make it down to Yulee, Florida. It's too far. Can't do it. It's about 290 miles. But I think we can make it to, let's just look at this. I think we can make it to Brunswick, Georgia, which is 24 superchargers, all 250s. It's 233 miles away. We should be able to do that. If we can't, then we've got backups. And actually, it gets a little bit thin down here, but let's just see. It would have to be up by Savannah. So we'll have to make a decision somewhere around Savannah for the bailout. So that's the plan. Let's hit it. We're at 100%. I think Brunswick, Georgia is our goal, but depending on what kind of speeds we can carry, we may or may not be able to do it. But let's hit the road. Okay, Kath, let's do a little math. Hey, that actually rhymes. That's pretty good.
I have my calculator.
You have your
ready.
calculator. All right, so there's a big gap between Savannah, Georgia and Kingsland, Georgia. Actually, Brunswick, Georgia and Savannah, Georgia. It's really a strange thing, but you got to think about this. So we are, from where we are right now, we're 195 miles away from Brunswick, Georgia. We've got 79% state of charge, which the car is telling us 237 miles. However, let's just think about this. We basically have 80% of the pack. So I'm going to use, I called Jordan because I know he just recently did some testing on this exact battery pack, and he's telling me it's a little more usable, especially on a newer pack, than 77 or 78 that I was using before. He said you could safely use 80 kilowatt hours if you were to charge to 100%, which we just did at Buc-ee's. So we're at 80% state of charge right now. And so what is 0.8 times 80? I think I can do the math. 64, right?
Yeah.
So we've got 64 kilowatt hours in the pack right now. And we're currently running at an efficiency of 380 watt hours per mile. So what is what is 1,000 divided by 380? I think it's 2.8.
2.6.
2.6. Okay. Wow. All right. Okay. So what is 2.6 times 64?
166.
166. And Brunswick is how far away? 192. We're not making it.
No.
Okay.
I'm glad you at least admitted it and not going to
listen,
make us try.
if we could
Right?
make it,
Numbers don't lie.
we could make it if we went 45 miles an hour,
Which
but that
we
doesn't
won't.
make any sense. So,
Right.
because of the big gap, I got to slow this down into standard mode. We're on this baby Bronco,
I call it the Bronquette.
the Bronquette.
It's light blue and it looks like a little golf cart.
It does look like a little golf cart. You're right.
cute.
Okay, so Brunswick, Georgia is out.
Okay.
We are going to go to Pooler. Now, Pooler, Georgia has two chargers. They're both 250s. One of them is on Pooler Parkway. It's only 8 stalls. And the other one is actually on Louisville Road, but there are 12 stalls. One of them is out. And so
4 of 11 are available.
4 of 11 are
But also that one looks like it's right
Yeah.
on the highway.
Yeah.
So that's the one.
Okay, so that's where we're going to go. Pooler, Georgia, Louisville Road. Next stop. Let's do it.
Okay.
That's how you figure it out. All right, Kathy. We are coming into Santee, which is South Carolina.
And then Georgia.
And then Georgia's right up over here. And for those of you who've been watching the videos of our road trips, we clap when we go from state to state. We've not done it well this trip.
Well,
I think we only got...
we did it well today. Yesterday was tough because the weather was awful.
Yeah.
And traffic was bad.
So...
We weren't the best on our road tripping game.
No, we weren't. But we're coming into Georgia. One of the nice things about when you get into Georgia is the lanes widen. You go from 2 lanes to 3. And what's really bad is when you're coming home, when it goes from 3 lanes to 2, it can be jammed up. So this opens up when you're heading south, but it jams up when you're going north. So we're going to be hitting the border just in a few minutes here.
Right, we're going to do it right.
We're going to do it right.
We're on it. We're going to do it. And we've been doing this with our kids since they were little.
Yeah.
We used to make road trips more fun that way.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really easy when you started in Connecticut. You got Connecticut, and, New Jersey, and New York. But then when you get down here, it's like,
yeah,
the kids are like, how come we haven't been clapping?
Right, are we there yet?
And then we got to say the map. All right, soon. Okay, well, it's been a horrible last 75 miles. I am not actually going to be sad to say goodbye to South Carolina,
And
which...
their 2-lane road.
And their 2-lane road. I mean, seriously, I know I say this every time maybe not every time, but...
This is one of the worst times I think we've had.
It is the worst, yeah. It's just, there's been such rubber banding going back and forth. A car is off to the side of the road. People just stop and literally go into a stop. Now, let me go into hurry mode here. And, well,
Hurry mode.
no, because chill mode just stays in the right-hand lane.
Right.
Now, this is going to...
But look, what hurry mode's going to come up and...
All right, I'll go to standard for you right now.
Standard's good.
But here's the thing. As soon as we come up over this hump,
Yeah.
there's a little bit of water, I believe.
These are the first sighting of palm trees. So now
Well, those are fake. They put them in.
I know I'm in the south and it's gotten warmer where it's 72 degrees.
But what's going to happen is we're going to hit the Georgia border.
Yes.
And not only are we going to clap, but we're going to clap 3 times.
Oh, yeah, because we're happy.
Because,
Goodbye, South Carolina.
South Carolina.
And your 2-lane road.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
river, and right over here, Georgia, and it opens up, and then we're going to be driving.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Welcome to Georgia. I see the peach.
I see the sign. Oh,
I
we're going
see
to
the
get that
peach.
van out of the way. We're not going to see it.
That's all right. It's not a van.
That's a fifth wheel. Here
No,
we
but
go.
I'm gonna miss it.
3,
2,
2, 1.
Georgia,
Okay.
1, 2.
Oh yeah, 2, 3. I
Forgot
know.
the rules.
Now look at this. There we got it. 3 lanes.
Woo!
State of Georgia Welcome Center.
That was torture.
You know how many people are going in there right now to empty their bladder?
The only thing I know is that when we head home next week,
Yeah.
we're going to be stuck in the same thing going northbound.
Well, so you can kind of see what happens over on the northbound side. Even though it's 3 lanes, it jams into 2, and then it just boggles up. It boggles up?
Boggles. I like it.
It boggles up
Why
over
not?
here. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about
We're
this.
still trying to get to that supercharger.
The only good news about what just happened is we were super efficient. I mean, 322 watt hours per mile in a performance with 20-inch wheels and a roof box, because we were going about 3
Sometimes.
So we are not going to make it down to whatever station that
Well,
was.
I feel like we've been in the car 3.5 hours or something. So what's this guy?
Well,
So we're going to go to...
look at this here. We're going to go around this guy.
I'm not...
FSD. Okay. That guy just flashed me. I think he was saying, come on over. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, you see the traffic northbound?
Yes, I do.
It's going to be an ugly weekend. We better enjoy ourselves.
For some reason, though, you know, it's like must have been 4 or 5 cars that had issues in
I know.
that segment of road. It wasn't just one. There were
I know.
4 or 5.
I know. It was really
Very bizarre.
Really bizarre.
So we're
So,
heading where? Right here, right, Pooler?
yeah, but hold on. I just want to see something. Just in case. Can we make it to Brunswick? 69 miles, and we have 75 in the tank.
Yeah, but I don't want to, honey. We've been in the car for so long. I need coffee. I say we just stop, we stick to the plan, recharge. Maybe you take a nap. You've been driving so much. Maybe you rest your eyes a little bit. I can walk Bailey again. And that's what we're going to do.
All right. I think we can make it to Kingsland.
I think we're both a little too tired to push ourselves now.
All right. I agree with you. So, therefore, we are going to Pooler. We're going to Pooler.
Okay. And we're almost
And
there.
we're gonna arrive with a 22% state of charge.
It's not about that anymore.
No, it's always about that.
No, not at this point.
No?
That really was
Yeah, well-
torturous.
So here's the thing. Because we went slow,
Yeah.
it now gives us the option to push it. But you're saying you'd rather not.
That way, I don't think we're physically or mentally able to do that.
What about how here's an idea. What if we just get off, use the facility, charge for maybe 5 minutes, and then go to Kingsland?
No, I think if you just take a nap, you'll be good to go. We aren't even into Florida yet. Once we hit Florida, it's about 7 hours to get down to Marco Island, and it's already, basically 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's going to be a very, very
Who
late
decided
night.
to buy a condo in the southernmost western side of Florida?
Who said it'd be a great idea to take a road trip to Florida this week?
You did. All right.
I could have had my toes in the sand by now.
Yeah, but you know what?
But I wouldn't have any fun. What fun would that be? Where's the adventure in that, Kathy?
That's true.
I know.
All right, so Pooler, Georgia,
Yeah.
even though we're going to pull in at a 22% state of charge,
Again, not the point.
I say we just do a quick thing there and then bring it down as close as possible, and then I do a nap at the next one. What do you think about that?
I don't know. Let me get some coffee and I can think about it. But let's definitely stop here.
Or I have an idea.
Of course you do.
What if we do a quick little 10-minute charge here, and then you drive to the next place and I sleep the whole way?
I can't drive right now. I'm shot from that experience. I would like to take a walk and I would like to have some coffee.
All right. Pooler, Georgia, next stop, 4.8 miles. We have a 23% state of charge. We're going to arrive at a 21% state of charge. This is amateur. All right, so here we are at the Pooler Tesla supercharger, and let's see what we're doing. Nice Hummer EV over there, and I like the wrap on that Model S. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Okay. There we are. 251, 253, 256. All right. That's pretty good, 256. 22% state of charge. Well, you'll see 257. So yeah, this is putting out there. That's about it. Now it's fallen off. But it's still 250 is, that's the max really that you should expect to get out of these cars. And then at 50%, you're going to be at 105 kilowatts. So let's do a little planning here and figure out where we're going to. I'm wondering if we can get to Yulee, Florida. It's just over the border before Jacksonville, so I want to see if we can do that. Yulee is really close. It's only 81 miles. We've already got 106 miles of range now because we pulled in at such a high state of charge. So I say we coffee up here, we use the facilities, and we hit this Gainesville, which is 12 stalls. These are V4 cabinets, I'm pretty sure, because it says 325 kilowatts max. So we will go there. Although, I mean, sometimes I like to go down to Ocala. Let me see if we could do Ocala. Yeah, I think we could do Ocala, 8 stalls. Yeah, let's do that instead. So 209.7 miles. We're going to go deep in the pack here. And what's really good about this next sort of section of this road, you can see where we are. We're all the way up here. And there's Bailey. Hey, Bailey. Hey, girl. We're all the way up here. But once you get to Jacksonville and you cut over, I think it's I-10. Yep. Once you cut over I-10, and then it's basically local roads that we're going to be on here. We're not going to be carrying high speed at all. So definitely Ocala. That'll be the next stop. That's what we're going to do. All right, Kath, thanks. I appreciate you unplugging me. I just took a little bit of a nap, feeling good.
Yeah, power naps, Rose.
Yeah, and we're going to go to Ocala. Where am I? We're going to go to Ocala.
Yeah, we're still
It is 231 miles. We did charge up to just 99%. Just 99%.
Well, we have exactly 300 miles.
And we have 300 miles of rated range.
Right.
We'll see what happens.
Still in
And
Georgia?
only 230. It says we're going to pull in with a 6% state of charge. Okay. So this is a good good trip. Pooler, Georgia. See you later. Thanks for the nice coffee.
Let's hope for smooth sailing.
I know. I need
into Florida.
I need a Dairy Queen. Okay, so just a trip update. We are, let's see, quickly 980 miles into this trip.
We're making progress.
We're making progress. We've had a really good run.
This last part.
Like, we've been carrying some serious speed. We were going to try to make it to Ocala, but because we were carrying such good speed, we're still in Georgia, but we're 5 miles from the Florida border. Here's Kingsland, Georgia. We've gotten off this exit many times.
Yeah, there is a supercharger here, right?
Yeah. I think it's like right over there behind that.
Yes.
Okay. So what we've decided to do is stop in Jacksonville, and we're going to pull in to Jacksonville at a 31% state of charge. We'll get there right around 7 o'clock. It's 6:30 right now, and hopefully we're going to we're going to be able to find some dinner there, or maybe sit down and do a relatively deep charge that will hopefully take us all the way to the Tampa Bay area.
Right.
And then we'll do one last charge in Tampa, and then I think that'll be it. So I'm hoping 2 more charging sessions
Right.
between now and when we make it down to the condo. I think it's going to be late at night for sure.
Oh, it is definitely going to be late at
Yeah.
night. But you did just get a good cat nap in.
Yeah, I
at
did.
our
I feel
last-
good.
At our last session, and we'll stop and we'll have some dinner. And
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
So just a quick thing, comfort-wise, your back is starting to
My
hurt.
back is starting to hurt.
No massaging seats in this car.
No.
And although
And your legs are getting a little
my legs,
crampy, right?
you know, it's funny. I am feeling a little bit of a pinch after sitting in this
In the
car
little
for the last
bucket-
24 hours.
Little bucket seats.
Little bucket
right?
seats. I mean, they're fine. They're not. It's not a problem. But they're definitely not as flat as in the all-wheel drive or the rear-wheel drive version. They look amazing and they're fine, but I'm starting to feel a little bit of pressure on my outer thighs, outer rear thighs.
Maybe we shouldn't get Dairy Queen.
Maybe I need to stop
Maybe
eating
we shouldn't eat so much beef jerky.
Yeah, like the Slim.
And I say we loosely.
The Slim Jims maybe are not so slimming. The peanut butter cookies. The beef jerky, I think it's healthy. From Buc-ee's.
I don't know.
The brisket, I don't eat like this all the time. I really
No,
don't.
you really
I
don't.
really don't. It's just road
You
trip.
have a weird thing about road trips.
tripping, it's hard, you know. I mean, although we did have some grapes,
I have not
carrots,
been terrible.
No,
I've
you've been really
pretty
good.
darn good.
but I think it would be better to just buy a different car with a flatter seat.
Not buying a different car.
You know, like the project plan diet. Here's the plan. Buy bigger pants.
That is not a good alternative.
Bang, you could do it. You ever see that commercial where the guy, oh wait, hold on. Florida.
Oh,
Here we go.
come
I
on.
see it.
I see it. I see
All right.
it. Oh. Okay,
3, 2, 1. Florida, finally.
Thank God. Woo.
Seems like we left 7 days ago.
Seriously.
No traffic.
Oh.
70 degrees out.
Now it's only another 7 hours.
Welcome to the free state of Florida, the Sunshine
Indeed,
State.
the
Governor Ron
Sunshine
DeSantis.
State. Palm
And then it
trees.
says agricultural inspection, turn off. It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, don't bring your grapefruit into
Yeah,
Florida.
don't bring anything into the state. We're gonna check you out.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well.
Do you think they're gonna check our carrots and our apples?
I also think if it gets too late and you start getting tired again, you know, we could always just stay at Katie's and Tampa.
Not an option. We're going going right to the condo.
Okay. It would be nice to wake up there
Yes,
tomorrow.
this is not a problem. We're going to be fine. Even if I have to just rest for 45 minutes,
Yeah.
it'll be fine.
I know you
I want to wake up in my bed in the morning
Yes.
on Marco Island. That's the goal. It
Yes.
doesn't matter what time I go to sleep,
No.
but yeah.
Okay.
So, okay, Florida. That was easy.
Hardly.